Dong RV approved. Huge revaluation news. It's finally happening. VND to USD update. 2025. Welcome back to RV News, your #1 source for the latest updates, confirmations, and breaking developments in the global currency revaluation space. If you're holding on to the Vietnamese Dong, VND, or just tracking the movement of international currencies with a particular focus on revaluations and global financial realignments, then you're in the right place. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications because today's news is not just big, it's groundbreaking. The Dong RV has officially been approved, and the world of currency speculation will never be the same. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the facts, the financial implications, and what this massive shift means for VND holders and the broader economic landscape in 2025. For years, the Vietnamese Dong has been a centerpiece in revaluation discussions. Currency watchers, economists, and investors alike have speculated about when Vietnam would take the bold step of revaluing its currency on the global stage. After a long period of strategic financial reforms, economic growth, and back-channel negotiations, it appears the time has finally come. Multiple confirmations are now emerging from credible sources indicating that the revaluation of the Vietnamese Dong has been not only approved, but is also being implemented through structured phases. The implications are enormous. Whether you've been holding on to VND notes for months or even years, your patience may soon be rewarded. So what exactly does Dong RV approved mean? Let's start with the basics. A currency revaluation is when a country formally adjusts the exchange rate of its currency relative to a baseline such as the US dollar. In this case, it means the Vietnamese government, backed by international institutions such as the IMF and possibly tied to regional economic accords, has chosen to strengthen the official value of the Dong. Previously hovering around the 23,000 to 25,000 VND per 1 USD mark, current reports suggest a significant tightening of that rate, potentially bringing it down into the low thousands or even triple digits per US dollar. We'll get into those numbers shortly, but understand this. It's more than a simple rate shift. It's a full-on revaluation that aligns with Vietnam's evolving economic stature on the global stage. Behind this major move lies a combination of political will, economic milestones, and international cooperation. Vietnam has emerged as one of Southeast Asia's fastest-growing economies, with consistent GDP growth, booming exports, and an increasingly robust middle class. Over the last few years, they've implemented fiscal reforms, stabilized inflation, and worked closely with global financial partners to prepare for a revaluation moment just like this one. The timing is not coincidental. With major trade pacts, like the CPTPP and RCP putting Vietnam at the center of international commerce, aligning the Dong with its true market value has become not only desirable but essential. The country's low labor costs, manufacturing base, and stable political environment have turned it into a prime destination for foreign investment, another key factor in building pressure for a revaluation. As we understand from new confirmations, coming in from key financial insiders and bank contacts, the revaluation approval was finalized during high-level meetings in late May 2025. While exact details are being tightly controlled, sources close to the matter indicate that major banking institutions in Asia and the US have already begun making rate adjustments internally. Some banks are reporting early access to the new rate platforms, which are being quietly updated across global banking networks, including SWIFT and internal systems used by Tier 1 banks. This is an incredibly important sign. Once internal bank platforms reflect a new exchange rate, it's usually only a short time before those changes are mirrored publicly. In many ways, we are now in that critical window, just before everything goes fully live. But what does this mean for you, the VND holder? The answer depends on how much Dong you're holding and what the final rate ends up being. Current reports suggest a tiered revaluation structure. That means there may be a baseline public rate, potentially around 1 USD, 1,200, 2,000 VND, and separate contract or preferred rates available through certain financial channels such as redemption centers or pre-approved Tier 4B platforms. This is similar to structures previously theorized in dinar and zim revaluation models, where higher exchange rates are offered in controlled environments to those who meet specific criteria, such as project funding, humanitarian intent, or existing private agreements. It's not confirmed whether Vietnam is taking that exact path, but the possibility is gaining traction based on early bank memos and whispers from redemption insiders. Some individuals have reportedly already exchanged small batches of VND at new unannounced rates under the guise of early testing or private contract redemptions. While these claims are difficult to verify independently, there's growing circumstantial evidence, such as large fund movements, updated rate screens, and NDA-based transaction closures, that suggest we're no longer in the speculative stage. This is unfolding in real time. If you've been waiting on concrete action instead of just hopeful projections, that moment has arrived. Let's talk numbers. While the official rate has not been universally disclosed, there are three key possibilities being discussed in financial circles. Scenario 1 involves a moderate revaluation, moving the dong to a rate of about 1 USD, $2,000, $3,000 VND. This would still provide significant gains for holders who bought at 20,000 or higher. Scenario 2 is a more aggressive but highly plausible reset, potentially pushing the rate to 1 USD, $1,000, $1,200 VND. This aligns more closely with Vietnam's real purchasing power parity and regional trade leverage. Scenario 3, which is the most optimistic, suggests a 1-1 parity or near parity, a dollar-for-dollar revaluation. While less likely without additional global financial restructuring, this rate has long been rumored within elite economic circles and remains on the table in specialized exchange channels. One of the most exciting aspects of this development is the role of redemption centers. Reports from multiple regions, especially within the US, Canada, Australia, and parts of Europe, suggest that select redemption facilities have already been activated or are in the final stages of readiness. These centers are being prepared to handle VND redemptions with confidentiality, security, and efficiency. According to insiders, appointments may soon be available for Tier 4B participants, those of us in the informed and prepared community, who've been waiting for this exact window. If you haven't already made preparations, identifying your preferred redemption locations, preparing currency holdings, and gathering your documentation, now is the time. Bank branches themselves are also undergoing quiet changes. Some bank employees have begun receiving internal memos regarding foreign currency desk training and updated operational guidelines for the Vietnamese Dong. This is happening under a strict NDA protocol, which is why public confirmation remains elusive. However, as these memos trickle out and screenshots surface in trusted online forums, it becomes clear that the banking infrastructure is moving rapidly to accommodate the new valuation. Whether you're planning to exchange at a bank, redemption center, or through a specialized currency broker, you should be aware that timelines may vary depending on location, institution, and the volume of transactions being processed. Many people are asking, is this going to be a public event or will it happen quietly behind closed doors? Based on what we know, the revaluation will likely roll out in stages. The first stage is what we are seeing now: approval, internal updates, and limited exchanges. The next stage will involve broader awareness, likely triggered by public rate, changes at major banks, or a coordinated announcement. Finally, a full rollout would allow public access through commercial banks, exchange offices, and online platforms. If you're subscribed to RV News, you'll be the first to know when that window opens. This development also has ripple effects far beyond Vietnam. Other currencies long believed to be part of the global revaluation basket, like the Iraqi dinar, Zimbabwe zim, and Indonesian rupiah, may follow suit or be closely tied to this move. In fact, there is increasing speculation that the Dong revaluation may have been greenlit ahead of others as a trial balloon to test international readiness and procedural logistics. If all goes smoothly with VND redemptions, it could open the floodgates for subsequent currency moves. This is why many in the community believe we are on the edge of a much broader financial reset. On a geopolitical level, the approval of the Dong RV sends a strong message. It signals that Vietnam is stepping into a more influential role in the global financial order. It shows that nations with strong economic fundamentals, political stability, and international support can realign their currencies to reflect their true economic value. And it demonstrates that decades of undervaluation and currency suppression can be corrected when the timing is right. As we wrap up this detailed report, here's what you need to remember. The Vietnamese Dong has officially entered a revaluation phase. Confirmation has come through credible back channels, banking sources, and insider leaks. Rate adjustments are being quietly rolled out, and redemption centers are saint.